Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we are going to take a look at the Disney Plus Wave Build-A-Figure from Marvel Legends, and it of course is the Infinity Ultron. Now I've done a separate video for each of the figures in this wave. This video is solely for the Build-A-Figure and I'm going to put it together on camera. Now I'm having a bit of a difficult time working out which leg is which, but if we have a look at the pins you can find out which way round they go. So yeah, and there's my first hurdle, trying to figure out which leg is which, but they slot in relatively easy with a little bit of force. I remember back in the day some builder figures were a real pain, you had to heat pieces up and all the rest of it, but they seem to be building their builder figures a lot easier to assemble nowadays. Now I'm not going to lie, that doesn't quite look right. Let's try it around the other way. It's a little bit bow-legged, so maybe I got that wrong. But they slot in the wrong way round easy enough as well. So there we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, so I didn't think I was going to have this much of a problem with the legs. First things first, he doesn't stand very high. He's not a very big builder figure, and the Infinity Ultron character from the What If animation show was quite large. So there is the first there's the first kind of stumbling block, not the first hurdle, the first stumbling block. Now a lot of people have said online, including myself, about how short he is in comparison to other figures, so I'll pull them out in a second. But I do think there is a reason for this, and I'll get to that a little bit later in the video. So the arms here go in nice and easy, just be careful of the shoulder pieces. There's quite large shoulder pads there attached to the torso, but they do go in quite easy. So these legs I'm going to have to play around with to get a decent standing position. The head pops on nice and easy, and essentially there you go, there is your Infinity Ultron. Let's just see if I can get him balanced so I can build his staff. Now I don't think there's any real issues with him standing. I think I'm just having a bit of a hard time finding a decent pose. Now this is a huge weapon, so that is definitely going to be problematic when it comes to displaying figures. So where you're going to display him and how he's going to hold this lance, because as in the TV show, it is absolutely ginormous. It's bigger than the figure itself. But the finish on the figure is really nice. There's a nice bit of kind of shadow in there on the cape. There's details on the cape. The kind of metallic-y pearlescent finish on him is really nice. But standing him next to the Watcher, he looks a little bit short. I'm not going to lie, this is a huge disappointment considering we got the Watcher builder figure in the first Disney Plus wave and we got the Infinity Ultron in a second Disney Plus wave. I'm really disappointed that he's so short. Stand him next to the MCU Ultron, which was also a builder figure and a deluxe, he looks even shorter. Why they didn't build him as a similar proportion to the MCU Ultron is beyond me. Like, they could have very easily have made him much bigger and then he could stand side by side to the Watcher quite nicely. Now with that complaint aside, I think the reason that they've done this is because of this character, Killmonger. Now in the TV show, spoilers ahead, Killmonger does end up wearing the Infinity Ultron armour, and I think when you take the head and you pop it on, because of the size of the figure, it looks in proportion. This is how this character looked like in the TV show. Now we are getting a What If version of Killmonger as well, so you can have an even more accurate looking Killmonger Infinity Ultron than this. But I don't think that this look was worth sacrificing the height and size of the builder figure in general for, because I personally won't display it like this. This is a great option for anyone that doesn't want to pick up the Sharon Carter figure and get the lance and the headpiece. If they just want to build like a Killmonger version of the suit and they have this head, or they pick up the What If version of Killmonger at a later date, then essentially you could have this version of Killmonger on your shelves without buying the Sharon Carter figure, without getting the headpiece and the lance piece. But me personally, I'm not going to display it like this. I'm going to display it as Infinity Ultron, and because of that height difference next to Watcher, that does disappoint me a little bit, because for a lot of collectors, they're going to want the Watcher and Infinity Ultron kind of squaring off like they did in the show. So it's a kind of a bit of a mixed bag. It's a really nice builder figure. The finish on him is really nice. He looks exactly like he did in the TV show. There's some good contrast between the gold and the silver. The cape is done really nicely, but he's just too short. And for somebody who collects predominantly 6-inch figures, a lot of my figures look in scale to each other. It's a real shame to have a character that's kind of out of scale. And I think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit because of that. I think it could have been a really awesome Bath if they had made him maybe an inch or so taller. But that's pretty much all I've got to say about him. He is cool, but a little bit disappointing at the same time. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. Do check out my channel for some of the other 5-minute figure reviews of the figures included in this wave, and I'll see you soon.